go out for our retreat on the 14th as long as I have the consensus that we have enough people there. I do know Jeffrey is not able to be there that day, but I have not heard from anyone else. So as long as we're still okay with the retreat date of the 14th, we'll publish a special agenda for that. Okay. So you do have to vote to cancel.
We don't? You do. Oh, okay. Is there a motion to cancel the regular meeting in September? On September 7th? A second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any? No. Motion carries.
Really want to meet on Labor Day?
Pardon me?
I said, anybody really want to meet on Labor Day?
Okay. Commissioner comments and reports. This is early on the agenda.
Yes.
And is that to accommodate the future word?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then also I had emailed out Linda's report on the Town of Yountville Community Foundation that I apologize, Linda, remiss to keep. I didn't get to include it in the packet, but this would be when you'd get that report as well.
Okay. Linda, do you want to? Sure.
All right. So, we only meet once every quarter. So
the community fund.
The Town of Yountville Community Foundation. And we just met in late July. And it was a very interesting meeting. First of all, one of our grantees for the 2026 grants, she came in. They're a new nonprofit here in the community, and they were focused on doing intergenerational work with farming and animals between the geriatric seniors, I'm geriatric seniors, and children. And she was so excited about the program. They had a little trouble in the beginning getting started because they couldn't figure out how to get the seniors to where they were supposed to be or the children to where they're supposed to be. Finally, they figured it out. And they are working with the Boys and Girls Clubs. And the first semester, they had 10 to 12 seniors, I should say children, 14 children, and 10 to 12 seniors working together. And she said that the kids were in like 3rd to 5th grade. No, there were 6th to 8th graders. And it's so hard to get them involved in anything, being so excited. But they were so excited to be able to pick up the little chickens and hold them and pet the pig and all kinds of little things like that. And they had really a great time. And second semester now, they're going to be working with the Willow School, and they're working with the 3rd to 5th graders. And they're expecting the same seniors from the first semester to carry on to the second semester. And she was so enthusiastic. You could just hear how pleased she was. And they really did a grand job being able to put this program together. I wasn't so sure it was going to be so successful, but it's just fabulous. And they had 4 of their board members present during our meeting just to update us on what was going on, just in case somebody had some type of a question. So it's just lovely. And then we also had, pardon me?
Did you vote on that?
Or? Oh, no, they're approved from last year. They were just updating us, to giving us an interim report to say about where they were.
What was the grant from last year?
How much
did you give it?
Sam, I can't remember.
I think that was $7,500 from the Imagine Yountville grant.
Yeah, it was a relatively small one. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the Farmstead Garden Program, the grantee, Peter, came in, and he was asking for us to reallocate some funds. With the town manager leaving, the idea of being able to have a vehicle to transport some of the goods, that's kind of like off the docket now. And so rather than, they don't need all the money, they are asking to have only $1,500 to be able to buy more supplies for the garden and to be able to help. They had to renovate the little house, and it took a little bit more money than they thought. So they're actually giving us back money. So out of the $5,000, they're giving us back $3,500. And Peter was so gracious and pleased about what they're able to do. And some of the ladies from the other project talked about the fact that they walked by the flowers and saw the flowers blooming, and they're seeing the vegetables growing. So everybody was just really, really excited. So everybody's very appreciative. And Peter said that whenever they're out working on the garden or working in the field, that people stop by and tell them how much they appreciate being able to see the garden. So that's really a lovely project that we funded for a couple of years. Now, we were looking at the grant applications for 2027, and it's called Imagine Yountville Grant Program, and it's sponsored through the town of Yountville, and each year we give grants between up to $50,000. But we're working on trying to figure out how to get to more people to be able to give more grants, because this last year we only gave out 2 or 3 grants. 2,500? 25,000, yeah, sorry. Okay. And, so we were toying with the idea of being able to have a micro grant in which the people could get between $250 and $2,500. And one of the things we realized in terms of talking to people about why they wouldn't apply for the larger grant is that they don't want to be held accountable, because they have to have goals, they have to have some measurements, they have to give us a report and tell us how they spent the money. And so people are kind of like hesitant to do that. So it's the micro grants has a very simple evaluation criteria. It's the 5 whys and the who. So why did you do it? Where is it? When is it? Why is it? And how are you going to accomplish it? So it's very easy for people to be able to write those things up. So we're hoping that that'll attract more people to apply for some money. And there might be seed programs for the larger grant later. So we're hoping that that's going to happen. And we reviewed the criteria for the larger grant. The small grant is called small grants, and it's from $2,500 to $20,000. And we reviewed the criteria and how we're going to be scoring it. And we're pretty much left the criteria as is. And we have an informational session, so to be able to help people refine their criteria for what they want to do and how they're going to measure and give us feedback on that. We're hoping that the informational session will help them streamline what they need to tell us, so we have a better idea about how to evaluate what they're doing. And so the board of directors will be reviewing all the grants, and our grant application starts September 17th. It's a quick turnaround for grants. Sam said that she's going to be able to get the notice out to the public, to the community, that these grants are available and give them the timeline for when the grants, they have to apply for the grant. So you apply for the grant on September 17th. There's an in-person meeting on the 22nd. That's really a quick turnaround time. There's a question and answer period, and those answers will be distributed on September 3rd. Then the application deadline is October 14th. So they start on September 17th. Then they have to give us the grant application by the 14th. We then review it on October 23rd, and the final approval is given on November 6th. The applicants are notified on November 9th. The project begins January 1 of 2027 and ends December 31st of 2027. So this is all in the electronic version that Sam has sent out to you. So it's a pretty exciting thing. We feel pretty good about being able to reach more people, smaller people, individual. You don't have to be a group to be able to get the mini grant. You can be an individual person with some project that you want to be able to do. In the past, I think you all are familiar with the fact that you had a, what do you call it? It's a happiness grant program. So it's kind of mirrored after that happiness grant program. So we're calling it Micro Grants Happiness Grant Program. So anyway, so we're really excited about where we're going and what's happening. So we're really doing some good things.
Question for you. If someone gets one of these grants and they want to continue on after the 1 year, do they apply for another grant? Or
Yes, ma'am.
So you can keep something going.
Yeah, it's like the farmstead program. It's in its second year.
But do you reapply?
Oh, you have to reapply.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
Because
great.
your goals change.
Yeah.
And your reasons for what kind of money you need. We're very careful about how we spend the money.
No, that's wonderful.
That's it.
Well, thank you, Linda. It's great that you're active with the foundation, because it's good information, and we should all be aware of what all goes on there. Thank you. Noel, did you have anything you wanted to say about the chamber? No. Okay. Are there any other commissioner comments or reports? No? Okay. Then, Sam, would you like to tackle the art fund?
Sure. So included in your packet was the Community Foundation end of year for the Yountville Arts Fund, just under $80,000. That's prior to us closing the general fund books, so we will have a small transfer that comes over from art sales from last year. Kyle's working on closing the books, so we should see that hopefully on our next report.
Is that gallery art sales or
It's both, so gallery and the commissions that we get on gallery and sculpture sales, that money moves over to our balance, so we'll see a little bit there.
So it's going to go bigger?
Yes, it'll go bigger, yep. As far as the general fund budget goes, again, there might be some slight changes to this as they close the fiscal year. But at the end of the fiscal year, we were pretty well on budget. The first part you'll see is our revenue. We budgeted $83,000. We brought in just about 71, so there's a difference there. But we do have a savings in expenses, so it all balances out just fine. We had budgeted or asked the council for a $97,498 subsidy or budget, basically. And there's a subsidy, obviously we're not going to bring in all of the money we spend. And so we did tap into that subsidy, but there was not to the extent we needed. So we always, as you guys know, we plan for what we hope we're going to do, and sometimes those things come to fruition and sometimes they don't. And but as long as we're staying within budget is the main thing. So right now you'll see the second part of that where it says art sales revenue and then art sales commission expenses. So it looks like about $1,852 right now is what we'll move over from last fiscal year. And at times, if you have a question on that, I can dig in, but there are years where sculpture sales have crossed over fiscal years. So we may have brought in the money and paid it out, or it's always kind of moving forward. So, but this year it looks like that year-end transfer should be about $1,900. And we do have a couple sculpture sales out there right now, but those will all be in the next fiscal year. And then as far as the public art program fee, so that's the restricted fund, the 1% valuation on commercial building projects. We ended the year with almost $27,000 in there, which we did end up transferring some money. So you'll see a cleanup report of this. We placed more sculptures last year than we had originally budgeted. So we did transfer some more money to cover those costs, which will draw down that balance a little bit. But we're still in decent shape. I mean, I think I tend to plan for the worst with that because the commercial building is slowed so much. But, the projects do keep coming in. Some of them are, larger than others, but the little bits still keep adding up. And the nice thing is with that approval of the 2-year budget, I did, expect that fund to not grow very substantially, and the town council approved a budget that would keep the art fund going. So they're very supportive of that. And so, like I said, the next month, hopefully I'll bring the year-end final numbers to you, so then you can see the final.
Sam, do we know anything more about the Humboldt project?
So the last I heard, they were in final plan review, but they have not received their building permits yet, so that's when they would pay the fees. So.
And they haven't submitted any art?
No, and I there were emails that went back and forth. I explained the program, and I think we're pretty flexible at this point, although we've never placed art, and it says you have to do it prior, you have to go through our process to place art prior to building permit. I mean, I think we could be a little flexible with that, but there just has been no communication. So, yeah, at this point, it appears that they'll be paying the fee because I've not heard otherwise.
Oh, that's interesting. That's different.
Is there not still a for sale or lease sign on the property?
Yeah, I had asked our planning and building director about that, and he's kind of unsure what that means, if it was about, because we were under the impression that originally the whole bottom floor retail was going to be operated by the owner or the builder, and then the top, of course, was residential. And so we're not sure if it's, maybe they've decided to lease out some of that space. But as far as the building permit and the intent behind it, we're not aware that the actual property is for sale. So
So it looks like things are moving forward, maybe in a different shape.
it might,
Or
yeah.
maybe the same.
Yeah, I asked Erin because I was curious about the sign too.
Yeah, I was curious about that,
Yeah,
too.
we've not received other information otherwise, but if we do, I'll let you know.
Great, thank you.
Which project?
The Humboldt and Washington Street, the empty lot by Vandeleur. Yeah.
Where Muse used to be.
Yes.
Yes. Hurry up and move it. Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, I mean, on your note, like I don't have in my radar any substantial commercial projects on the horizon. So
I just wanted to be sure Muse was not homeless for,
no reason. Yeah.
Muse
For the
is
wrong
being
for the
fed
wrong
and
reasons.
looked after.
I check on her every time I'm at the courtyard. She has a nice little towel over her head. Her moving blanket.
Okay. Art Walk, all right. We've got some business today. We have 2 sculptures for you to review. This first one is our friend Peter Hazel. As you know, Peter's been on the Art Walk, for years with one sculpture or another. The butterflies have been very popular. We have sold a few of them for Peter, with Peter. And so when I walked through Vandeleur Park, I noticed that the sculpture as it is,
because honestly, you give such care. I'm laughing with joy. It's just amazing when we get a memo saying, I was walking through the park and I noticed this is wrong with it and the paint is coming off. And I mean,
Yes.
you really manage it, and it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for noticing. But it's a pleasure. Everything in this town is a pleasure. So anyway, the powder coating on the present sculpture is fading, and I don't like the way it looks. So Peter and we're working on trying to close another sculpture sale that's been around. And so we've been talking, and I asked him if he wanted to leave it, because that's kind of his place, and it looks beautiful there. It's only been there a couple years. If he wanted to leave it, then would he come down and either bring us a new stem for it, or remove it, get this repowder coated, et cetera? What did he have in mind? And over time, he's decided that he would like to do a stainless steel version, which will be nice for us to have something different. And if he does that, then he would be eligible for another stipend and a 2-year agreement for this sculpture. So he can probably do this in September is what he's saying, but he's also moving his studio right now. So we'll just follow it along. The green one is still there. He would pick that up when he brought this one down. So that's where it is. Do you have any questions about it, or the new sculpture too will have 7 butterflies. The one that's in Vandeleur is missing a butterfly that got damaged in the move, but it's so well balanced that it's barely noticeable. So the new one will not only be in stainless. But it'll have another butterfly on it. So anyway, any questions or anything, or how do you feel about it?
I like the size of the.
I mentioned this when we moved it. I love the way the light plays, so you can see it cast, where I didn't feel it had that in the previous position, so.
Yeah, good. So, if you like the idea and like the sculpture, then it would take a motion to pass or decline, whatever is your pleasure.
Well, I move that we replace the sculpture.
Thank you.
And I second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? No. So it's been moved and seconded to approve this one now, Dancing Monarchs, by Peter Hazel. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, so the motion carries. Thank you. I'll keep you updated on how he's coming along. And the second sculpture is a new artist for us. He's a wood crafter. He calls himself a wood turner, but he is like this brilliant mind with his geometric forms. He uses all sorts of different scientific formulas that are way over my head. But he agreed to submit. This is a 6-square orderly tangle, which I love that name. And it's this one, the one in the picture is not completely accurate to what ours will look like. Ours is going to be resurfaced old redwood, and recycled, I should say, old redwood. So it won't have the varying degree, which won't hurt my feelings. This one, every time I look at it, I get hungry for sausage.
That's what I thought it looked like.
So ours won't have that variation. And it looks like he could have one done. He's making it just for us. He could have one done, I think he said October. He said before the snow flies, which means different things to different people. But, somewhere in October is what he's thinking. So his name is Malcolm Tibbetts. I was able to go to a lecture of his. It's just really interesting. If we ever wanted to do some kind of a program with sculptures or with a sculpture, he would be a great one. He has all the tools. He has great slideshows and all of that. Plus, he's, like I said, he's so scientific. He's just
That
amazing.
one's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, these are all small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea on where that would go?
Well, we actually are happily pretty full right now. However, we are going to be able to take back a sculpture we have up at Hopper Creek by the French Laundry Garden. It's the one that had the mare and foal. It's in the back towards the garden itself. And it's a small pad. I think it's only 3 by 3. But he doesn't need it. This is on a pole, and he doesn't need a big pad, so it would work there. And otherwise, I don't have any other ideas. Do you?
I think it's really well suited to go there. It's very foresty there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
redwood.
very
and-
natural.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of odd. I mean, honestly, I don't know that I love it, but I guess it is something different. It's different.
It is different.
And so that I like. And I think maybe it's just something I'd have to see in person to appreciate. I think maybe the photo doesn't do it justice.
I tend to agree with you about the photo.
Doesn't,
I'm
yes.
sure when we see it in actual redwood, it'll be beautiful.
That nighttime photo's really cool.
Yeah, these are 3 somewhere else, and then these also freely spin. It says on the
what?
pole. They spin on. You can rotate
Yeah,
them.
he asked about whether we wanted it to spin, and I said no. The one in the center that's in the shot actually was vandalized. Somebody jumped on it and was spinning it around.
Writing it.
And we usually they can just put a screw in the pole and it keeps it secure. But I appreciate your comments. Wood, as Linda, who collects wood, not everybody loves art that's made of wood.
I think once you see it, the wood piece in person, and can feel it, it won't look like a sausage. Because I wonder, what are we doing with the sausage up there?
But I also hope that people, and you hate to think the worst, but is that something that someone would be able to carve into or anything? I just would worry about that.
It's fairly hard, and it's also going to be elevated. First of all, it's 5 by 5 in and of itself, and it's going to be on a pole, so it's going to be higher. Will somebody do it? Yeah. We had
I
a
think you run
piece.
that risk with any sculpture,
Yes,
right?
you do.
Don't
But wood, I don't know, people get enticed, like,
redwood's
can I carve, I hate to think the worst, but I'm just throwing it out there as just a concern, but.
So color-wise, this one I brought up is redwood, just so you can see the difference between the photo he presented and what would redwood would actually be.
Beautiful, yeah.
It was like a mosaic, that one.
I don't think he's overly
So he's not
concerned
worried.
about it.
Okay.
This is what he does, right? We had a sculpture a while ago that was balsam wood. And
That was
I know,
what?
balsam.
Oh.
And it wasn't, I didn't care for it. This was quite a while ago. But it was approved. The subcommittee approved it. And it didn't take long for people to do just what you're talking about. And it's soft, So this is harder. And thank you, David, for your comment, because that's very true. And if you look at our signs, in particular, our plaques, they get vandalized almost more than the sculptures do. But some of the sculptures have been, whether it was a person or sometimes I wonder about a landscaper or, whatever. They're public art. So it can happen.
So the question would be, if in fact we do find somebody has actually vandalized it, carved into it, then what are we going to do?
Check all the cameras.
It is insured, but the town is self-insured up to a certain amount. And so we have had issue in the past. We had a sculpture backed into, but we couldn't identify the vehicle, so we paid to have it repaired. So it just depends on the artist. But it's not uncommon. We have metal sculptures out there that people have scratched on that we can't remove. And part of it is, the artist knows that that's part of it, having outdoor public art. So.
Absolutely.
But major damage, it is insured.
And to me, it's different. I love the fact that it's wood. We don't have any wood sculptures, and I think it's certainly worth it to bring in something that's beautiful and hope for the greater good of mankind.
So is this an appropriate time to talk about lighting? Just to bring it up with the group?
I'm getting to you.
Okay, you're coming. We're going to do.
we're
Okay,
gonna-
great.
Yes. Would I forget you, David?
No, I didn't know if I didn't see it, so I wasn't sure if we were going to talk
should
about
be.
it.
Yeah,
Be there.
it's on the next one.
Pardon me?
It's on the next report.
Yeah,
next,
it's the
okay,
next one.
missed
So,
it.
first of all, so do we want to vote on this evening? And, okay, so we need a motion to approve or not.
Well, I will move that we move forward with this beautiful wood sculpture.
And I second.
Thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, there, that's lighting project.
No? You okay?
I gave an aye.
Okay.
It was a half-hearted aye, but I gave it.
Well, nobody's feelings would be hurt, so you know that. Okay, thank you. Then it's approved unanimously. And I'll get in touch with both of these. Thank you. Okay, then in overall, I don't know if you've seen, I see Caitlin has huge bundles for everybody, but
Thank you.
we have our new Art Walk mat.
I think this is the new one, the one that I got reprinted because that one was blurry. So these are the new ones.
These are the new ones?
No, where did you get
This is an
that?
older one. Are those new?
These just came on
The
Friday.
new.
Yeah.
Okay. These looked fine, but
Yeah. It was just the map part is blurry, so we had them reprinted. But
awesome. Okay. So,
But hopefully these will take us through a while.
how many did we get?
We got 2,500, and I'll deliver about half of those to the chamber
Take a bunch.
visitor
Can I
center.
have one extra one, please?
Just one?
Well, for now, yes.
Thanks, Caitlin. I think it's so beautiful, and I'm just going to say, I love seeing it so full.
Yeah.
And, of course, we have rotational, so there will be sculptures coming out And so just FYI, it's going to change again, but hopefully, because now we have so many maps, it won't change too soon. And this one has the new pieces. It has Heart Song, it has the Library of Wines.
Seymour.
It has, pardon me? And Seymour's here. And what else? It's got, I know it has, it has Heart of the Matter, and it has Reciprocal. So all of our new guys got on there, and it looks great. And we're going to be working on the next version, a new color.
Great.
So that'll be coming down the road.
It's really substantial. It's lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
The feel of it's really nice.
Yeah.
You don't feel like it's going to crumple
No, it
in
is.
your hands.
It is. It's a beautiful tool. Okay, and let's see, just to let you know, the sidewalk concert was renewed by the foundation, the Atelier, by Stuart Johnson, for another 2 years.
Wow.
So that's great. I think it's great. Everybody seems to like the sculpture, and they're very happy with us back at the foundation. So they agreed to go another 2 years. So that's good. I'm glad. I think it's great. The Wine Story 2 donation is on the consent calendar. You feel like it's going to be okay tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't receive any questions to date from the council members, so most likely it'll just be approved. Yeah.
I saw it on the agenda, council agenda. Anyway, it's a consent thing, so
Yes.
hopefully.
Yeah.
And I'm still planning to be there tomorrow,
Perfect.
since I don't have to clean the sculptures.
Yes, we'll take care of that.
And then the neighborhood sculpture stroll, Sam felt it was best to postpone it. Heaven knows we know our council has a lot going on right now. So you mentioned it's.
Yeah.
You proposed it for September.
Yeah, so they'll go on their legislative break, and so this will be the first meeting back, which, talking with Hillary and our interim town manager, it seems like that'll be a good meeting to have that presentation.
If something changes, you'll
I'll
let
let
me
you
know.
know. Yeah.
I totally understand. And let's see, what else do we have? We have David with your lighting project. So, David,
Before that, though, can I ask you a question?
yes.
Maybe I missed that too. Is it the freeway underpass project number 1? Is that on? Is that? Are we almost there?
Yep, I email them about every other month and say, because we've approved the expense, but it's really just waiting on the artist to find a gap to get up here. So I email them about every other month and check in. So I'll continue to do that. Yeah. You're talking about the repairs, correct, to the mural?
Just
Okay.
had a mural
Yes.
Are they refurbishing it?
Yeah, so it had, when they did the overpass project of Caltrans, there was a lot of weird runoff that stained it. And so I Caitlin took great pictures. They said, yes, we'll come out and do it. They gave us an estimate, but it has to fit within their schedule. And she said at first early spring, and now she's saying possibly fall. So I just keep checking in.
Will those repairs be paid for by Caltrans then?
No, we already approved the expense from the foundation funds. Yeah, so unfortunately, when we entered into an agreement with Caltrans to even do it, we take a certain amount of liability in that, so unfortunately.
Is there a certain point, Sam, where we just find another? I mean, there's other muralists who
No,
could-
for sure. I think so, and I might reach out and just offer that if the project just isn't of a substance, for them to make the effort. Then, if I always try to let them have the right of refusal and to say it's okay
I
for
think
someone
it's
else to
great.
come in and repair it. But we do have local muralists who would possibly take that project on too. So, it's really just a cover-up project. You're just going through and repairing. But yeah, I think my next reach will be, offering that if they can't, they're busy and that's wonderful. But
So when you say another muralist, someone to go in and retouch up
Yes.
what's the
Yeah.
existing
Just still
work,
repair it, not do a
something
new
completely,
mural.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I've always felt like we should have something that relates to the veterans in that area, since it's sort of like the gateway up to the veterans' home.
Yeah, that process was interesting. I think
Yes,
that was
it was.
considered during it, but this is what the community actually voted on.
Remember, I do remember
Yeah,
that.
but murals don't last forever. They do last a very long time, but at some point, the town and the commission might decide to change it. But I can't believe it's already been 10 years.
I can't either.
I know,
Yeah.
gosh.
But that was a fun project, a fun process that we went
I
through.
remember,
but,
yeah.
But it would be nice to get something moving,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
thank you, David, it bothers me the same way that powder coating on that sculpture bothers
Yeah, the
me.
dripping down the.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's on our art walk map, and it's,
Right.
people walk.
I mean, it's the
all the
gateway to
time.
the town.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Good feedback.
when I emailed Noel and David, the new sculpture by Malcolm Tibbetts, the wood piece, David came back and said, are we ever going to do anything about lighting on the art walk? And I said, Chair. I asked him if he would be interested in pursuing it, and also that PJ has mentioned this several times. So, do you want to speak to that?
Just that I have an interest. I'm happy to take the lead or be part of whatever part of the group wants to be thinking about that. And it could be, so I have a couple of questions. One would be maybe, I think I heard from you, and I've heard from when Brad was talking about this, and I think, Samantha, I've heard you talk about it before, that there are some issues with getting lighting out there in ways that make it practical based on just the current, where all the power comes from. And then I guess...
Yes, but there are a lot of options out
Yeah,
there
I mean,
now.
there are LED options.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting low voltage stuff that people are doing
Yeah,
now.
or even solar, and so there are a lot of options.
There might even be some grants like we could get for that. I know St. Helena School District just got a whole bunch of money to install LED lighting in all of their buildings and all their facilities, and it's partly because they're a school district and they needed to take out the old lighting, but it seems like things like lighting, just from my background with public buildings and other things, it's one of the easiest problems to solve if you just...
Yeah. I mean, my suggestion, if you're asking, is that, because this has come up, I think it was PJ who was really interested in this too, was to go through and do an analysis of each sculpture site and just say, if we started out with, these are our, kind of prioritize them, these are our top ones we'd want to light, and then on the back end, we can start exploring ways to achieve that. And, sometimes it is a bigger lift if, Public Works involvement, and if there has to be power versus if I can, we worked with the new light vendor, as you know, for the town lights this year, and he had some really interesting ways to achieve things that I didn't even know existed. And so I think there is opportunity, and if we just kind of prioritize what sculptures we want to start with and start checking off the list, I do think that even locally there could potentially be grant opportunities for lighting the outdoor artwork through the foundation's Imagine Yountville grant or even some of the Arts Council things, but you also have funds available in your community foundation fund as well. So I think, my ask, what would be super helpful for us is for you guys to analyze the art walk and just really kind of hone in on a good starting point for us, and then we can go from there. I can't promise that we'll be able to get to all of them based on location or funding, but at least we can get a start.
Can I
mention?
I'm sorry. Steve Rogers was going to take PJ and I around to show us where the electrical was, so you might want to contact him and...
I'm open to whatever, I think this could be a fun project for...
I think so. I mean, I would be happy to go and maybe we go do like an evening, when it starts getting dark, and kind of take a look at some of the sculptures and identify the top ones that we think.
Yeah, because some make more sense than
Next
others.
step to just, do we need to meet with you, for example, prior to, or want to do, help me understand the process, because I don't want to just
I thought it might
throw
be
one in.
good for David and I to meet with you, Sam.
Okay.
And I think there might be some areas that might be sensitive. I think not every sculpture on the art walk needs to be lit. And we can kind of go over in a brief meeting with Sam. And then once we do that, then, walk it, but at least we'll have the goal in mind. And I appreciate you taking this on, because it's been mentioned. I think it'll really benefit the art walk to have some of them lit. And you have to think of the location, not necessarily the sculpture, which is kind of hard, because the sculptures do come and go. A lot of them, but not all
Sure,
of them.
yeah, right.
Sure.
Coming out in the middle of the night, to give the hearts around the sculptures, what the lights are at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you have to take that in consideration besides just the evening, what happens throughout the night. And what, I always feel like what's protected in the community, because you got street lights and people, as opposed to the more remote areas.
So why don't you look at your schedule and
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good starting point, I think, and then to do some analysis on which ones we want to hone in on and find creative solutions. I mean, even when there's not power, I was surprised by what this lighting vendor, what's available out there that's in solar powered. So I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, lighting these days is becoming very easy, much easier.
It is.
The lights are bright, they're
Yeah.
attractive, they're easy to think about. So, I'm just,
okay?
love the idea, and I think it would make the art walk, however it gets done, I think it would be like, whatever the process is that determines what gets lit and when and what the process is. I think it's great that there's a process, and I notice on the art tours that I've done just since I started doing more of those, people always ask me about lighting. They usually will say, someone in the group will say, are these lit, or, what happens at night, or,
And some of them are. It's interesting, like right out in front of Community Center, the one, it's empty
Yeah,
right now, but
yeah.
it has, they actually put them into the ground. And then we did add more lighting to Chaos Pamplona
Yeah, Chaos is
recently, which is great. And then new lighting to the one out front here, the yellow sphere. So slowly,
Yeah. And PJ, if you want to be involved in walking through,
Yeah,
you
I'm happy.
you
I'm
brought
happy
this
to.
up.
Sure.
Let's do something with it this time, because
We've talked about
We
it
have
for
talked
so
about it.
long. I know. So
Yeah. Okay. So just shoot me.
Oh, yeah.
Next week's not good.
I will be in Connecticut, so I'll reach out after that.
So, and the last thing I want to tell you on the art walk is that we have a sale. I don't know if we've gotten the money yet, Sam. I always like to get the money, but Rocky sold.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
That's a big
That was an
deal.
expensive
That's
sculpture.
a big adoption.
It was it's actually, I think, our largest sale.
It was a lot of negotiation, but
Do you know where he's going?
he's going down in Napa, actually, on
He's staying local.
he's going to stay
Are
local,
you
yeah.
allowed to talk, not specifically, but generically, like is it a private home or in public?
It's a private home, and she is a yoga specialist, and they lives it, teaches, takes it. Buddhist, forgive me. I'm so sorry, Elisa. Buddhist, and the motto of her group is never
Never give up.
Never give up. Yep. Which is Rocky's. So, she fell in love with it. And, like I said, everything with art, I think, can be a negotiation. So it took a lot of everybody coming together, but all of the good stuff was there. And so we just kept working away on it. So
So when is he departing?
Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
Is the Muse available?
Well, coincidentally, now Elizabeth, when we knew her, she was residing in Southern California and
The Carolinas, right?
Carolinas, but seemed to be more centralized here in California, but now that's changed, and she's back in North Carolina. So she's been working on another sculpture for us, whether, and the sale just kind of popped up at a time when she was planning to come out and make the switch. Rocky expires this month in August. So, like I said, on this, everything, all the stars were aligning, but it just took a while to get all the details and negotiations worked out, but it did, in the end, is working out really well.
It must have been the pet-friendly Yountville piece on Localish, because it was actually on again last night. It's been
was it
on.
really?
It's been on like at least 3 times.
Oh, interesting.
It's crazy, and Rocky's really featured in it.
Elizabeth had seen it.
Oh my goodness, that is big news.
Yeah, that is.
That is
That's awesome.
really impressive.
So I like to have the money, like I said, but I did send her a text.
Okay, great. Yeah, she reached out to our finance department for ACH form, so
Perfect.
I'm assuming Kyle will let me know when it comes
Great.
through.
But I always
I did request it prior to delivery.
And as I always say, it's wonderful to have a closer on the team.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness, that's
good.
really,
I'm glad you're all happy.
really
It's good. We haven't had a lot of sculpture sales. I get a lot of calls. I more calls lately than I have in a while, but not everything goes through. So it was fun to work with these people, and nice to put it over the top with everybody's cooperation. So that was good. Awesome. Okay, so moving on.
I was going to ask,
Yes, sir.
has there been any sort of inquiry, I'm guessing, about Mountain Heart? Because that one's such an interesting sculpture, and I just wondered if,
I think when it first went in, I had a phone call on it, but no.
Huh,
And
interesting.
I agree, because people respond to it and they like it. For various reasons, it got more expensive than we had projected. And that happens. It happens a lot. They start out light, and then one thing or another, they get expensive. And I don't really argue with them. It's their call on the prices. 40-something or 42 or something.
38,700. I'm just curious about that one.
Yeah, the first thing I always think of is, well, we should do a posting, but you keep up on those. You can't do the same sculpture all the time. So I think we just keep doing those.
I'll be sad to see Rocky go.
Well, the new one is a kind of a copperish color,
Okay.
and she calls it ginger.
Okay.
In fact,
All right.
you know the color of that reddish poodle? Yeah, that's kind of
All right.
the color. And
Be excited to welcome Ginger.
the message is, don't stop believing.
Oh, cute. Okay, I love it.
And the clock will say 11:11, which is what it always says. So, you know why.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
Okay. So that I hope will. I'm not sure when that's coming in, and trying to coordinate it with her trip out here. We'll have to figure it out, because it might be before our next meeting. So we'll see. Anyway, Sam, are you going to give the gallery report, or
I think
Linda? Are you
Sorry.
gonna give
Lynn and I are going to share that.
Perfect.
right?
Good, awesome.
The gallery report for the two artists.
Perfect.
I'll introduce it, and then you can talk about Diane. Maybe I'll talk about Rosie, and we'll talk about it. what we're asking to have is two new artists share an exhibit in the gallery. The first artist is Diane Benfield, who is an oil painter mostly, African wildlife, and the other artist is Rosie Penny, and she also does oils, and she is currently doing a lot of equestrian art, but she also does North American wildlife, and she also does animal portraits. She does a lot of, she's got kind of a big portfolio of work that she does, but she had a small space in the gallery at the, down in town, the Napa Valley Art Gallery. And so Jeffrey and I met her a few weeks ago, got a chance to talk to her, look at her work, and then Linda was able to get there just a little bit later to see the work. And then the three of us, Jeffrey, Linda, and I met, was it Monday? Was it last Monday?
I think last Monday.
Yeah, I think last Monday, to talk about whether they could share an exhibit and whether their work would be complementary. And so there are some images of both their work, and I think, Linda, you know Diane, right?
Yes, I know Diane from my past life and my current life with golfing, etc. And she's thrilled with animals. They've been to Africa on many safaris, and she has the keenest eye to be able to capture the essence of the animals. Once you see a couple of her pieces, the eyes of the animals just follow you around the room.
I thought they were photographs.
And she paints from memory sometimes, but she also has a picture that she paints from. And they're incredible. And the guys, they're big. They're these big guys. Her husband says, am I living in a wild animal park? Because they're all over her house.
Wow, that's cool.
And she's a new artist, and she's been doing art for maybe 5 years or something like that, but she's never actually done anything with it. I encouraged her to go to the Napa Valley Library and apply for them to be able to display her art. And she won the competition to be able to have her art displayed at the Napa Valley Library. And it was very well received. But the issue with Diane is that, she's been doing it, but she does big pieces, but she's busy doing other things too. So she doesn't have a big portfolio. And that's why Jeffrey and David and I thought we should have a second artist, because I don't think she could fill the gallery. And so then Jeffrey was looking at this Rosie, and I saw Rosie and I thought, oh my God, they're so abstract, and Diane's are so crystal clear. They are like a photograph rather than an oil painting. And then I thought, the contrast is going to be absolutely exquisite, because hers are just picture perfect. Yeah. And so, Rosie?
Yeah, and Rosie, she's representational. She does realistic work, but she obviously uses a looser method.
Yes.
For her backgrounds in particular, and she does a really good job of capturing the energy, especially of horses. Most of what I saw, other than what I've seen on her website, was all equestrian. But she also showed Jeffrey and I a painting she just finished of a cougar walking out of the woods, and it was very well done. And she's she's definitely, and similarly, she's fairly new to painting. She's been an artist her whole life, but she's, I think, committed time and energy to oil painting over the last maybe 7 or 8 years, and you can tell her technique is evolving. Like, if you go back and look at her portfolio and you look at what she's doing now, it was much more photorealistic, and now there's more impressionism in it.
They have an intensity.
They do.
Definitely.
They definitely do. And I just think she's a delightful lady. She's a mom. She works. She's got a life, and she loves painting. And
Do these two individuals know each other?
I
No,
don't
they
think
don't.
so. But they were both kind of in the same place. Neither one of them has enough work on hand to fill the gallery. And Rosie, I think, is really excited by the fact that they're very open to the idea of sharing an exhibit with another wildlife artist. And our big sort of next decision, pending you're all saying, we think this would be a good pair, is just to decide, when to do it, because both artists are working and both are busy, and we were talking about summer or early fall of 2028, is it? 27, 28? 27. Is it 26 now? 27.
It's 27. It's at 27.
So anyway,
I'm glad I'm not the only one who said, what year is
yeah.
this?
We're kind of working with Rosie and Diane on their time frame in terms of what fits with their personal schedule, in addition to being able to be present for the gallery and,
Right.
and present and that type of thing.
Yep.
Have you seen her still lifes?
Yes,
I love them.
they're amazing.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're really pretty. She's really good. Like, I paint in oils. I know how much work they are, and she's really, really doing great work. They both are. They're both really, really excellent artists. And it's so nice to, have a new set of local people to. I think Jeffrey met Rosie at the Sip and Stroll.
You did.
And what I like about it is that these are emerging artists. So we're going to help them become known to the community.
Yep.
And that's just lovely, rather than someone who's been around for a long period of time and well-established and all that. And they're so enthusiastic about being
I
able
think
to
this
be
would
able
make
to
a
be in our
great show.
gallery.
Yeah, I think it'll make a beautiful show.
So is this a
And
done thing, or do we need to move
sure it's not going to be as big in terms of size of paintings as the ones we just hung. Where's it?
They are?
That's
They are that
okay.
large?
No. The
Oh.
Chaz's are really, really big, really big.
That was difficult, yeah.
That was interesting.
So yes, you would need to vote on this to answer your question, PJ.
So I'd like to make a motion to accept Rosie and Diane's art for presentation at the gallery in 2027.
I would second that.
So all in favor of accepting these two artists, time to be announced at another date?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And you have your artists, and the motion carries.
Awesome. That's going to
Thank
be a
you.
good one.
All right, thank you both. Literary, Jeffrey gave a nice outline. I was impressed with the bookmark story contest and the number of people that he's got 39 submissions, 33 adults and 6 youth. I was surprised that not any of the Spanish-speaking entries were appreciated, or at least they didn't this year. But as he points out, they'll do it again next year. And sometimes it takes a little while to catch on. But that's coming up, September 24th. It's a fun event if you if you're interested. Mark it on your calendar because it is a fun event. And let's see, the Writers' Roundtable is pretty much status quo. Jeffrey has said he won't be continuing that next year. I don't know if there's an update on that. And Yountville Out Loud is scheduled now for October 8th versus September because September was so busy. So it's all great. And as usual, great work on the part of Jeffrey. So thank you, Jeffrey. And any questions or anything that? Okay. All right. Guess what? It's Noel.
Yay, marketing. I have to say, we've been getting a lot of great coverage, and Rhonda and Sam, Rhonda came up with a great idea, and Sam initiated it in less than a heartbeat. We now have a section on the website called In the News, and we're getting a lot of these articles that are out, and we're having them on the website. It's really, Rhonda pointed out, an excellent selling tool to art walk artists, to gallery artists, to show the kind of marketing that they get. So So that's in there right now.
And it's great. And
It's
thank you, Sam.
fabulous. Yeah,
You
Sam,
just
that
jumped
was
on that.
wonderful. It
Yeah.
happened so fast.
It's going to be a
I still
very-
have to add the one you just sent to it, but.
Great. So we do have some more coming up. We've got, the first one up is for Art Sip and Stroll. We have a wonderful professional photographer working with Parks and Rec now named Amy Little. And she took fabulous photos of the event. And in Napa Valley Life, in the August issue, which will be coming up any day now, I would imagine.
I was going to ask if you, when you have time, if you could contact somebody, because they do seem to be, like, all of a sudden it gets published late. And I think, just to find out when they might
Yes, I
have
would be
copies.
happy to. I would be happy to.
No pressure.
No,
Just-
it's no pressure whatsoever. It's just one email. They're just, yeah, I will do that. So anyhow, we have a full page, which you'll see in the packet for Yountville Art Sip and Stroll, with really just beautiful photos representing the event. And it's in the front of the magazine in the Napa Valley scene. And that part of the magazine shows events that have happened and shows pictures of them, and they ask you to write 80 words on it, so I did that. But it really highlights Art Sip and Stroll once again, after we got a lot of good coverage for the event. And then we also, regarding Art Sip and Stroll, submitted an artist profile to 6557 for Therese Legere, who's just a magnificent artist, and she's faithful to Art Sip and Stroll, and she has a beautiful layout and a story coming up in the fall issue in October. And then as far as Yountville Arts is concerned, Napa Valley Life is doing a generic article on Yountville Arts, and I gave the interview on that, and they really covered so much of what we're doing. They covered not only the art walk and the gallery, but they also covered Art Sip and Stroll and the Mustard Celebration and Photo Finish, the Steve Rogers Gallery, the whole commission, not by name, but how we operate. We got 800 words, and it's coming out, and it should well, I know it will be lovely, because Rhonda and I have both read the article already. and I just submitted photos this morning for it, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. You know, and it's no wonder things sell. We've got things to talk about, and there's interest because there's such beautiful pieces, and you know, you get it out there, people see it. In addition to coming to town and walking through town, and obviously we're doing things right, all of us. And then also for Napa Valley Life, because we like to share the love, we're supporting Open Studios, and we got them a story in Napa Valley Life also. So in the article, they do talk about how Yountville Arts supports Open Studios, so it's really a win-win for everybody with the back and forth promotion. As far as the art walk is concerned, we have another article coming up. Rhonda gave the interview for that in the fall issue about all the new sculptures for the art walk. So we'll have our new pieces in there, and I know Rhonda gave a beautiful interview, and that will be coming out in the fall issue in October. In addition to, we're taking out a full-page ad to promote the art walk, and it's really beautiful. And I'm sorry, we just finished it under the wire. Unless you have it, Sam. If not, we'll put it in the next packet. But it's a beautiful picture of Chaos Pamplona, and then just beautiful, really discreet, simple, elegant copy promoting the art walk. And so that'll be coming up, and it's really well suited to the magazine. And also, we had the Open Studio article in here too, which they gave us a lot of coverage, a lot of pictures. It's really just beautiful. And that's it.
That's
for this
wonderful.
month.
It's a busy subcommittee, and Noel keeps right on top of it, so. I haven't heard anything from Jessica as far as any other.
No, she's a different, she works a little differently, and I'm just waiting to submit the photos as soon as we hear that the article is done, or I will check in with her. I believe she said that she would let us know when it's completed.
That's great. Okay, well, thank you for all of that.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to move on to the Performing Arts Subcommittee. Judy and PJ.
Yeah. Do you want to give a report?
Sure. Well, first of all, I know many of you are signed up for Wednesday, so we're very excited about this.
Yeah,
I know.
it's great.
Who is all coming? Are you, okay, awesome.
Yeah, so it sold out pretty quickly, like
Yeah,
within
good.
2 days.
Great.
And we've had some other people, the people who actually turned us on to Hunter, asked if they could come. So I don't know if they're going to come or not, but Hunter's been amazing. And he's like, yes, of course, we'll fit him in. And I dropped off a case of sparkling wine, and I said, do you think we need more? And he's like, oh, we'll supplement. Don't worry about it. So it's going to be
They have been dreams to work with.
Unbelievable.
He is so awesome.
That's wonderful.
It's just
sold
the
out.
caviar tasting, just to give you, and thank you to Sam and Caitlin for helping us, is like $65 a person.
Yeah.
That
Just
alone.
just the caviar tasting.
know.
And they're doing a customized cocktail for us. The vodka is infused through oyster shells, and it's got a little bump of caviar on the drink, and then we're gonna continue with the champagne. So we're excited. We'll take tons of pictures because it's a pretty cool deal, we think.
I know. Sam, did you
Yeah.
by chance bring the baseball caps, the Yountville
Oh, I
caps
forgot to
with
bring
you?
them tonight, but we'll bring them. It's on my list for Caitlin
Okay.
to check in. But
Perfect.
I
Okay.
thought I would do a bag and a hat. Is that-
Okay,
Oh,
sweet.
thank you.
Thank you for doing that. I just thought that would be a nice thank you for
Yeah,
them.
it's very generous.
So, Judy, is there any way you can think of that we could do something for them in return, just in a form of a partnership? I know we don't promote an individual business, but they're doing a lot for us, and we're spread the word.
Well, first of all, let me just tell you that this is they're not really open, but they're opening for us at 4:00 and 4 to 6. So they're
We're going to
fill
fill
the
events at
restaurant.
4:30.
Yeah, sorry, 4:30. But we're taking the whole restaurant up. And so they're really thrilled to be able to promote themselves. And they're not just caviar, they're now a full restaurant.
Are they still called RO, or what are they called
They're
now?
still called RO, but yeah, to your point, they're typically, they do the happy hour in the bar that starts at 4:30 to 6, and then the restaurant is open for dinner, in the dining room starting at 6. But during the week, on a Wednesday, in the summer, they're probably not really that busy.
Yeah.
So they were so excited when we came to them with this concept of doing the art of caviar and teaching everyone how it's sourced, how it's farmed, the different types of caviar, how it should be paired and enjoyed, that I said, after this, if it goes how we think it's going to go, and especially with it selling out, I said, you may want to incorporate this and make this some sort of an offering or a program that you do to help fill up your dining room on a day when you might not ordinarily. So they were super excited.
And, I did a caviar presentation before, and it's amazing. I mean, I think everybody's going to be blown away. They swim with these fish, and they're going to teach us. It's going to be very educational, and it's kind of topped us up thinking that we need to do this at least a couple times a year with other restaurants. And I think that's what we're promoting, is we're promoting the restaurant and we're bringing business to them. And they are thrilled. And that's we're supplementing it, but it's a few $1,000s, and they're getting, tip and everything included. So I think that they're really excited to be part partnered with the Arts Commission, but also to be promoting what they're doing.
Well, and art and food is such a beautiful connection. So
Right?
much, and so much, the connection, the conversation, the artistic moments with it. It's really great. It's
Yeah.
a win-win for everybody.
It really is.
And it
yeah.
really speaks to Yountville because we are a food destination and an art destination. So bringing them together with other restaurants, we're getting really excited about the future.
Yes, the possibilities.
The future. And then for the movie night, we're excited. I actually asked Ludovic Durbin, who's our winemaker and general manager at Stag's Leap, if he and Jim Foster would do the introduction. And Ludovic actually came to last year's movie with Bo, so he was really excited to be able to make the introduction. And he grew up in Champaign. And with that, Jim is also going to do a tasting of Stag's Leap. And many of you, if you came to the cocktail night, you would know who Jim is because he did one of the cocktails. So he's a great personality as well, and they support us in Locals Night and everything else. So I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Do we want a third winery to pour?
Sure. Do we have another one?
Maybe Gurgit Hills would be
Oh, I think
interested.
that would be great, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my friend there.
And then Dancing Under the Stars, October 6th. I'm working on the playlist for Jeffrey, and local Tammy Cruz is going to be teaching the hustle. So that should be a lot of fun. And I've got all the biographies and everything to you for all of this, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And we still need to get wine partners for that, I think, as well. I don't know, Sam, I know you had mentioned that maybe you would be able to reach out to some of our usual suspects that we reach out to. I don't know if we.
Yeah, we can. We also have some wine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can
Perfect.
reach out and see if any of them are interested, and then if
Okay.
not, we can pour wine as
Okay,
staff.
perfect. Thank you.
and I can help with some wine too. I have a little in. So far I'm still there.
So far.
And then the scarecrow contest, we talked about this last time. It's just going to be rinse and repeat from previous years. So
It should be pretty straightforward.
well-oiled machine.
Yes. And then our concert that we had last week, the Ariel Marin Band, it was their second time back. They were fantastic again. And they were just so gracious. I mean, they played the whole 2 hours through without taking a break. And then at the end, they stayed on, and they had so many people that were coming up wanting selfies with the band, and they were so gracious doing that whole thing. I think they stayed an extra half hour beyond just chatting with their fans.
That's great.
And PJ does such a great job at the introductions. I love it. But I also want to say, PJ, you probably noticed this. The concerts are getting more and more popular.
They are.
I mean, we're getting so many more people, so.
I think we had roughly, I'm going to say about 325 people from what I
Wow.
could tell.
Yeah.
And by the end, there must have been 40 people out dancing. It was really good.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be enjoying them a lot. A lot of Facebook postings and a lot of pictures of people with. I love the little girl with the. He's so cute.
With the cute shoes, yeah.
The next one coming up next week is Drive the Band, and that's the one that you saw perform up at Shandon, I think,
Yes.
a year or so ago.
They do like 80s and 90s covers, and they're local. So from Napa.
Good job, you guys. All of these. These are
Be
great.
super fun.
I just want to say one thing, too. Last year's movie, I'm getting a little nervous because there was no room available on the lawn.
I know.
So, anyway, we'll see how that goes.
We'll hope for that again.
It was like the Night of the Living Dead. PG and I were standing there talking to Bo, and people were just coming out from everywhere.
I know, it was. It was.
So that's not a ticketed event? That's just to come and
That's
bring
just to
it?
come.
Another
Yeah.
fun free thing put
Another
on by
fun
the
free
Parks and
thing.
Rec people.
We did
know.
a promotion that looked like a ticketed event last year, and I think that's why it got so huge. So
Very scary.
We scaled that back a little bit.
It's like 700 tickets. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we were at like 700 and we cut it off. But not all those people came, but
Right?
yeah,
Goodness.
But it was at least 500
it was
people.
packed.
It was packed.
It was
no
packed. It was our
room.
biggest event, I think, that we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know.
Well, and what shocks me is the line for free wine
Oh
must
my
have been
gosh.
20, 25 people deep.
It was incredible. I know.
Bring your own people.
Well, that's why when I said I saw people coming from the street that weren't coming to the film, the people that just lived nearby or whatever, they were like, "Oh, free wine," and so that was why I think
But
we
you
should
had
move
to
them
wait.
to the
I think they sniff it out around here. They're smelling free beverages.
I would never wait
I
in
know.
25
You can walk
deep
around with
line.
it.
Yep. Now you can walk around with it.
That's right.
Yeah. We didn't try any of it.
No,
'cause we
the
didn't
line
wanna
was too
wait.
long.
And that's it.
Great job, really. You know, the diversity of all of our programs. Every time, every meeting, I'm just so impressed. And you know, these are great.
We are so excited for Wednesday. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, we're all excited about Wednesday. Are you going to do the parade this year?
The parade, of course.
Okay.
You know it.
That's
Everybody.
next year, though.
Yeah, everybody that the back of the truck group.
2027.
Yes, that's 2027.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
Also
First
excited.
Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so next up, I think, is mustard celebration. So a couple of things to share. You notice that on the back, there's a schedule again. I think it's similar or the same as was last given, but the real change is the name. It started out as we introduced, or Michael introduced, Photo Finale. And, you know, we got a few raised eyebrows from the mustard organizers, mustard celebration organizers, why finale, et cetera. Well, now everybody else loves the word finale, and they're taking it. So titling their, you know, the grand finale and this finale and that. So it was Michael's decision to switch it to photo finish, which was actually what a different version of photographs of mustard during the original Mustard Festival was called Photo Finish. And he wanted to give it a distinct with finale, but there's just too many events
I
now.
like photo finish.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
I
name.
like it better
Yeah.
because
It's good.
I mean, yeah.
So he's, you know, toning up the logo and so forth. So that's what it's going to be. Other than that, there aren't any changes. He's getting ready to hone in on the applications which go out in September. The only other thing regarding the mustard celebration was that Sam and Beverly and Natalie and I met primarily to just introduce Beverly to the mustard celebration. You know who Beverly Wilmore is, yeah. Who seemed very interested. She didn't have any knowledge or little knowledge of what the mustard celebration is. So it would be nice if the town, the hotels primarily, would do something to participate. It would be a greater participation for us. I mean, I think it would boost what we do. Just as a reminder, we do the photo finish, and we also do the Find Your Hearts. Those are both mustard celebration programs, and we promote a lot. So I believe the Valentine's Day weekend is a 3-day weekend, and we'll be doing hearts that weekend. And then, you know, it might be a good opportunity for hotels, but I don't know anything about what the hotels do. That's Beverly's job. I just thought it was important that she know that this is a tool. The mustard celebration is a tool for all the hotels and for her. So I think the result was that she and Natalie are going to go down and talk to Jessel about the programs and so forth. So I hope they'll do something, but that's up to them. So other than that, That's kind of it for mustard. We have Art Sip and Stroll, Sam?
Just sharing that we are finally going to have our recap meeting next month, or this month, as well as our planning kickoff meeting for next year. So we're anticipating a venue shake up a little bit, and so we'll get ahead of that and talk about layout for the future. And I know there's a lot of curiosity. It's great. I am, on a different note, taking applications for the Holiday Artisan Fair right now, and it's just great to see how many of our Art Sip and Stroll artists also apply for that. So
They love it.
working here. Yeah.
I didn't realize they were doing the
Yeah.
holiday one, but they had a great time last year.
Yeah, and it's a 2-day and it's indoors, so it really gives them an opportunity. We do give Yountville artists the first kind of right of refusal, and then we move on. But I've had more applicants this year than I ever have, so
Great.
we'll have to narrow it down because we only have space for 40. But
Do you
yeah.
do both buildings?
we do both buildings. I'd love to. I explored tenting even the outside, but it's so expensive that it doesn't. I can't cover the cost. So.
And you never know about the weather that time
Yeah,
of year.
yeah. So, but we're excited about that, and I think, I shared the data last meeting on Art Sip and Stroll, so we'll have a good jumping off point to talk about what we want to do for next year.
Just to piggyback on your comment, more isn't always better.
Yeah, it's true.
So, it's a little more exclusive if you have a limit, just like with Art Sip and Stroll. I think that might have been a lesson from last year, that it just builds the reputation of the event, and people really want then to make an effort to show their work successfully, which makes your job, in the case of the winner, easier and better to promote. So,
Yeah.
so having it in the two buildings, I think, is great. Okay. Any staff informational reports?
No, I mentioned it earlier, just that the September 14th meeting will be our planning retreat, and I believe I have the same room at the Bellagio that we had last year. I'm confirming that. They were very generous again with us, so I hope it'll be a productive afternoon, as it seems to be every year.
So I'm not staff, but if we all notice that Caitlin's back.
Yes, Caitlin's back.
So welcome back, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else that we have to discuss at this meeting? Then is there a move to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second? So all in favor of adjourning our meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Then the motion carries. Thank you for a good meeting.
Thank you.
So David, maybe we can figure out one evening or something. It doesn't have to be fast.